everybody, it's Cindy A. Lewis, and it is time for Crafting Therapy 39. This is episode 39 of Crafting Therapy, where we take a moment to get away from everything, the monotony, the routine, and just refresh and re-energize with our creative juices flowing and do something crafty. So this month, May, I am hosting Junk Journal Month. So Junk Journal Month, everything is going to be related in some way to junk journals, even if it's a haul. Excuse me. So May has a special giveaway also. This month, I am celebrating a year on my Patreon membership. And if you go back to the May 1st video, you'll see all about the giveaway and my Patreon membership. And it's all linked below. And also today, you just got to check all that out. But also today is a freebie. It's a freebie printable for your junk journal folio. So it's a big kit where you can print everything. Now, the sizes may be a little different from scanning it in for what I tell you to make today. So if you want to make your own with your own paper, then have at it. Watch the measurements. With the freebie, let me show you. The freebie is going to look like this. It's a PDF, and it tells you this is the one that I already made. The one that's in here is the one that we're going to make today, and it's from one of my masterboards. So I'm really excited to share this with you. So if you get the freebie printable on my website, which is also linked below, there's lots of links below. Also to join my Patreon, it's all linked below. So happy Saturday. Anyway, so all the pages have the different sheets that you can print and cut out, like the base and the triangle and the pocket that we're going to make. Sorry about licking my fingers. They are clean. And then the gatefold, because we're going to make a junk journal gatefold folio. It's going to be vintage, and it's going to be from one of my masterboards. So anyway, these are the stackable pockets that you'll see that go inside. Extra journaling cards or whatever you want to use them for. So here's some more. This is a great kit, and it's free. It's free. Now, maybe one day I will start charging for this, but right now it's free. This is a notepad where you can make a notepad to go inside your folio. So I'll show you how to do all that. Also, here's some vintage buttons. But I ran the copy to scan it because then you can cut them out if you want to. And then I included some extra pieces for you. So you can use all of this to make your own folio. Just watch the measurements is all I would say. All right, let's get started. Okay, first I'm going to show you the one that I've already put together. And then we're going to put together this one. So it may take a few minutes to do all of that, but you'll see how we do it. Now, this idea actually came from pinkmonarchprints, and I've linked her channel below. On Instagram, she does a lot, and she also has a YouTube channel. She has a website. She has a subscription kit. And one of her videos did a gatefold card. Now, it wasn't exactly like this. The premise is the same. She has printable papers for her March kit. That was what she used. But anyway, I want to show you how to do this. This is, these are gatefold doors, if you will. And we got your buttons here as your closure. And then you have the stackable pockets with your ephemera and your tags in here for lots of journaling. And then you have a hidden door here where you could add a pocket or, add a picture or something. And I've got the measurement here. I wanted to show you. I haven't erased that yet. Then you also have all of these fun things. This is a tuck spot for another journaling card. And this is your diagonal pocket. And then the pocket in the back has a few fun things in it as well as the notepad that I'm going to show you how to make. And of course you can decorate them up more and do whatever you'd like to do, or include whatever you'd like to include in your pockets. Now I did decorate this pocket a little bit. I'll show you about that. And then I added a paper clip with a little burlap ribbon on it. So that's what we're going to make today. But we're going to use my masterboard papers because they're purely mine. And then I'm sharing them with you. So that's what we're going to make. Now what you'll need is you'll need either several sheets of cardstock or double-sided paper if you want, or you can print the Gatefold Folio, download the whole thing from my website. That's entirely up to you. So I'm going to show you how to put everything together. And what I'm using, I'm not using any double-sided tape today. I'm just going to use some glue. So you can use whatever glue you like to use. I am going to use a stapler. I have my paper clip and my ribbon here. Remember those old decorative scissors? Well, I had some old ones, so that's what I'm using today for that one pocket. You will need a pair of scissors and a trimmer. And then you'll need some, if you want to make it vintage, you'll want, you know, your ink and your blending tool. Then to sew the buttons on, I used my wax thread that I use for journal making. And I also use this as my closure string. You can use twine or ribbon or whatever you like. I have some ephemera that I already prepared and vintageized. And then what I used for the notebook paper was just some old vintage paper, and I added the inking around the edges, giving it that more vintage look. Then, of course, you're going to need your trimmer. Now, I already did all of mine. So mine is already cut, I think pretty much all of it. So I've got all my pieces prepared, but I'm going to give you the measurements and tell you how to do it. The only thing that I haven't done is done the scoring, and I will show you about that. So let me see. We've got your main base piece, and the main base piece is going to be 5 by 7, or you can make it 4 by 6. I think on this scan it's 4.5 by 6.5, so it's a 1/2 inch difference. So I've already gone around the edges with the inking, and so now I need 2 doors or gates, if you will. So what you do is you cut 2 3 by 7. So let me just show you on here how I did it. Let me set this aside a little bit. All right. Let's see if you can see. All right. Okay. So this is cut. This is actually 7 inches long, same height as your base. And then this is 3 inches. And then I scored at a 1/2 inch. You need to make sure that you have a left door and a right door or a gate. Okay, so it'll open this way. Now, to get the diagonal, at the diagonal, you're going to want to line up your paper. Here is the 7 inch, you know, your top. On the left side of the door, you're going to go over to 4 5/8. I think that's 4 5/8. Let me measure. 4 5/8, and then you're going to mark that spot. Then you're going to lay down your paper and line up at your score line and where you marked on your paper, and you're going to trim that. And that's how I got my diagonal. And then I did the same thing on this side. One thing you can do is turn it upside down and draw a line, and then it will give you that same. Now, if you want color on the inside, since the masterboard is not double-sided. You can take your inking and go around the insides too. So you've got your 2 doors here, and you've got your base. You've got your left and right doors. So you're just going to take your glue, and you're just going to put glue down the side of each of these tabs. My nozzle was a little stopped up, so I guess I used it too much last night. All right, so you're just going to put a line of glue and line up your papers. You want your door to line up with your base, and you're going to make sure you get that up, down good, and that your door will open and close, right? So we're just going to do the other side. So just make sure you have 2 different doors and they're not the same, facing the same way, because that won't work. All right. So once you have your doors on, and also just to mention, from doing my own, you just want to make sure that you've got it lined up and that it's, you know, it is facing the right way. Now, if you want it totally closed, you can add that 1/8 of an inch. I don't mind it. I like the little peak. All right, so here we go, and opens and closes. Okay, I can pull that a little bit. All right, now I would recommend either doing the printing on cardstock or printing it kind of double, because you want to make sure that it's good and strong. All right, now before you do anything on the inside, I suggest adding whatever buttons you're going to use. So I'm going to use actual buttons. These are actual vintage buttons. They were in a purchase I made some time ago that came with a whole big bag of buttons. And so I'm going to use these for my folio here. So, and this could be used also, just saying. You could. Now, you don't use glue for that. You're going to use a needle and thread. Now, you can, if you want to, however you add your buttons. If you're going to use the cutout from the Freebie Printable, then you're going to want to make sure that you have a little piece of cardstock or a little piece of cardboard, something underneath it to give it room for the string to go around, you know, like just a little layer. Okay, so you just, if you want it in a certain place, you could, of course, can measure. I just kind of look at it and say, where do I want it? And then I take my needle and I come through and I leave this little hang piece over, because what I want is this to tie on top. Now, sometimes it's hard to find that hole if you're coming back through. So I just punch a hole through and then I can find it pretty easy if I can. All right, so I'm just going to pull this through. It's really simple if you've never done this. Basically, you just want your 2 ends on the outside for junk journals, and you're just going to tie a knot. Now, what I do, though, is I add glue in the knot. And then you can also put some glue under your button if you want to make sure that it's not going anywhere. But I haven't had any trouble sewing buttons on paper before. So then I just put a little dab of glue on that knot to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. All right, so these I will cut. I don't like them quite that long, but you can have them as long as you like. But I like having them hang over just like that. So that's really fun. All right, so next you'll do the next button. This button needs to line up with this one. So you can measure it, or you can just give it an eye of where you want it. All right, so let's go ahead and finish our closure. So you need a piece of twine. I'm using wax thread that I already have that matches what's sewn on with the buttons. So I'm just going to take some glue and put it under here and put my string there. And I want to glue my string around that button so that it stays in place, at least one end of it. Then the other end will just wrap around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this string around a couple of times. And then that is going to hold that in place. And then when I want to close the gate or the door, you know, it'll hold it. So the next thing we're going to create are the stackable pockets, and that will hide this thread in here. So we're going to let that dry a little bit, and we're going to work on these stackable pockets. Now the stackable pockets are really unique and fun, and I've got two pieces cut that are 2 inches by 10 inches, and they each need to be the same. So I'm just going to show you for scoring. Got my trimmer scoreboard here. You can use whichever kind you want, or you can measure and use your own ruler if you want to do it that way. But I'm just going to show you how the scoring is on one of them, and then show you how we fold it. So the stackable pocket scores, so you want to score from the bottom, not the top, okay? So we want to score at 1.5, then 3 1/8, then 5 7/8. Then you're going to score at 7.5, and you can see I don't have a 7.5 on here. So I'm going to take my pencil that I don't have right here. So I'm just going to take a little pen mark. It'll be hidden. And then I'm going to turn it this way and score here. So it's right here. So from this side, it's 2.5. Okay. So then the way that you fold this is you fold this side down. You're going to do an accordion fold. Then you're going to fold back on the second one. Then you're going to fold on this next one down. So mountain, valley, mountain, and then this one up. And then you have your stackable pockets. You can have a pocket here, here, and then here when you affix it. All right. Now, if you want, this is a hidden door here where you can do your, you can do your journaling. You can add a picture like I showed you in the other one. And then if you want to add some vintagizing to the inside of this, since you'll see it, you can definitely do that. All right, so I'm gonna do the other one, and then we'll show you how you put it together. Now we're ready. Since you have 2 stackable pockets, you're ready to add them to your door. Now you're just gonna glue, open it up. You're gluing that second part, right? Okay. And then you're going to take this one and open it up and glue here. So you're making your second pocket. Okay, so you've got a pocket here, and that's going to have to set up, right? Your glue's going to have to set up. And then on the back, you're just going to go down the edges. Oh, and don't forget to go down the bottom. And then come down the side here. And then bring it about 1/4 inch is what I did. So you've got your pockets all set in place. Now, if you wanted to add decoration here, you can definitely do that, but just realize you're going to have things inside your pockets. So while those are setting up, we're not going to do any additions, but this is going to be full of things that you can journal on, add pictures to, decorate, and whatever, and then put this inside your journal, right? Okay. So the next part is your pocket for this center. Now the pocket is measured at 4 7/8 by 3 3/4. That's what I measured mine. You can, of course, make yours a little bit larger or smaller. And just know that in the printable, it may be off a little bit just from the scanning. Let me see what size. Yeah, it's just a little bit different because the way that it scans in. So it's about a 1/2 inch different, I think. But it should match with everything. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to take those fancy dancy scissors for the decorative edge, and I'm just going to come along this edge. Now, if you have a punch, or if you want to scallop it yourself, or if you have a die that's an edge die that you want to use, you can definitely do that. But I wanted to do something that possibly anybody could get their hands on and cheap or inexpensive. So I'm just going to take this one, and I'm starting from the end, and then I line up my little scallop, and I hold it as straight as I can because I want to make sure that it goes as straight as possible. Okay, there you go, and that's cute. All right, so I do want to, and even if it was off a little bit, that's okay too. Doesn't matter. It's just a pocket, and a lot of it's going to be hidden anyway. All right, so then here's my pocket, and I'm going to put it in here. So that extra scallop makes it look nice. You know, it just gives a little interest to the pocket. All right, and I'm not using any flaps or anything, and I am just using some glue to set this. Now I'm going to set mine right at the bottom edge of the folder. And then go down, make sure that that glue is pressed into place. And this glue, this glue dries pretty quickly. So you want to make sure you have it where you want it. And then that's going to be your pocket. All right. So while that's setting, and this paper is just, this masterboard is just amazing. All right, so I have a diagonal pocket. Basically, you're going to take, I'm going to set this out of the way. You're going to take a 3 by 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. So I'm going to cut 3.5 inches. Let's do it this way. I like that butterfly, so that's pretty cool. All right, so we're going to do 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, and there's another tab. All right, so this is 3.5 by 3.5, right? Okay. Then what you want to do is go from corner to corner, line it up on your cutting blade path where your blade will cut. Line it up, line corner to corner, really simple, and then just cut it in half. All right, and then there is your diagonal pocket. Okay, super easy to do. Just wanted to show you how I got this. All right, so now this pocket is going to go here. So you're going to have a lot of pockets and tuck spots for this folio. And it's really cool. And don't forget to go get the Freebie printable. And you can stretch it and do whatever you want to make it work for the size you want it to be. All right, so now you're going to put that right here on the corner of this pocket. Then you're going to have a tuck spot here. You're going to have this one, and then you're going to have all these pockets here, which is really, really cool. All right, so let's look at some of the pieces that we have over here, some extra pieces that we have for your journal. And like I said, you've got tall, skinny, you've got long, you've got little bit different size journaling. These I just cut to fit into the places in my pockets, and then you can use them for what you like. So let me show you how I set these up. Let me find my little pieces. I want to show you a couple of pulls that I created for you. So I went through all of these, cut them different sizes so that they can be journaled on. They can, they're all vintagized on this side. If you want the vintage on the back side, just go around and ink them or vintagize them with your inks. And it's really simple to do that. So just letting you know that. Now, the other part is, for some of these, I wanted to make like a pull, so to give it a little bit different interest. And so on the tags, I wanted to show you, so like for instance, this one, go ahead and ink around the sides and top and bottom if you want to create that, or you can decorate it, but this is going to be for writing or whatever. But what you can do is cut a little piece, and this is just like a couple inches folded at like 3/4, and I don't even think 1.5 inches, and then just put this on the top, and then just use a stapler. You don't even have to sew it or punch it or have ribbon or anything, and then that becomes your pull for your journal tag. And what's really nice is metal is a cool part of junk journals. So then you've got that. Now you could add lace or whatever you want to with that as well. Then I just created some small ones like 1/2 inch and just staple them. And they're really cool. And you could take, let me show you a little added thing you can do to it. So you can take a piece of lace or a little flower and just put it on there. Take your little pull. There you go. Put it on your tag. And I'm doing all this holding it in the air, so that's why it's... And then just do a little staple. And it's fine. And you could also add lace. So let me show you that. So for your pull, you're just going to take a little piece, cut it as wide as you like. There are some on the printable, so just so you know, ink it up, put it where you want it on your tag to be your pull, and then take a little piece of lace and just put it on there. You can put it any way you want, and then just staple it. Staple is easy, and it's really cute looking. So anyway, you have these 3 that are done, okay? These are all extra to put in. So here's another one that we're going to take a little piece that is cut the same size and height as one of your tags, and then cut this piece at 1/2 inch instead of the same width. You're going to create a tuck spot with it. So we're just going to go down the side here. It'd be good if I could do it straight. And just line it up. And this is going to have to set a second. And then you'll have your little piece that can go in there. That might be too tall. It's like that. So you have a little tuck spot for a tag or a journaling card. So you have all of those, and we're going to put those in here. And then I'm going to show you how to add a few little embellishments, finish the paper clip, and then make the notepad, which is super cute. All right, so let's go with our side pockets here, our stackables, and let's just put some of our little tags we created in here. So depending on how wide that glue got, right? Okay, so we're gonna just do that. And one thing that I didn't want is my tag to go above this cut. So that's up to you. This one's a little wide. All right, so we're just gonna go here. And these are just different sizes, so you can use them however you want to. And just put them in there as you want. Then, let's see, these are too wide. That might be too tall. Let me cut this one. Just gonna give it a little cut just so I can show you. And then we'll put that one in here. There we go. And then just decorate up your little pocket so you can put, I have some ephemera here. There is no ephemera in the printable. You can just add your own ephemera or cutouts that you like. So I just add some flowers to add some interest, some words, whatever you'd like to add. Just making sure you can see good. And then I do have like these words, and if you want another flower on top or, you know, next to it, you can definitely do that. I don't think that one needs it, but this one might need some green. So we'll just add that here. Just do that, a kind of a layered. Then for this pocket, of course, you want to put your this one in here. So then you have another tuck spot, you have another tag. And then if you want to add like some words, it can go over, but just make sure you're not gluing it down. So only glue the side that's not this side. All right, and then like for instance, I have ephemera here, can put that in. And then for your big pocket, you have your tall tags you made, and you can stuff those in, and they look really pretty. And if you want to stick another one back here, just make sure it's not too tall. I want to make sure. And then the last thing that I want to show you is, and then you can decorate up if you want, you know. The last thing that I want to show you is your notebook. So let's do that. So this paper, there's my tag hole. This paper is cut for the notebook. Let me get my notebook size. This little notepad is cut. This is 8 inches long and scored at 4. And it is 2.5 inches wide. So you can have it whichever way that you want it to be. Well, I kind of like the butterfly, but either way, it doesn't matter. And then these little sheets are just real vintage papers that I cut. And they're cut 2 1/4 to 3 7/8. And I vintagized those a little bit more. So those are going to slide in here like this. Then I cut a piece for the topper. And this piece is cut at 2.5 inches, the same width, and then 1 inch, and then scored at 1/2. And that's going to go on here. With your paper inside, you want to get your stapler and staple it in 2 places. Now you can decorate this, and then you have lots of journaling that you can use here. And so I'm just going to stick my little stick my little notepad in there too. So then you can see this is a full little Gatefold vintage folio. Now add to your heart's content your decorations, however you want them. I do have like an old card that I can put in here. I have some other pieces all here. Just really fun things to add interest. I don't know if this one's too long. There we go. Now, the last thing that I wanted to show you is the paper clip. I was looking for another flower. All right. Got it. It's stuck in the bottom of the bin here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to put it over that, like that. So lots of fun here to be had. All right, so next is your paper clip. So I just picked one that was, that would go with it. I'm going to take a piece of ribbon here. This is just some ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to just cut a good piece so that I can tie it. Gonna put it through my paper clip, really simple, and just give it a good tie. Now I double tied the other one, but you don't have to. You can just leave it one tie. And then if you want to add glue to it, just to make sure your knot doesn't unravel. And your ends, you know, that one just seems like it's pulling. All right, so then I'm just putting this up here, and then to close, I just pull my string around like that. And I have my Gatefold Folio all done. Let's look at what we made. So this junk journal Gatefold Folio has 2 buttons for our closure with a little string to wrap around it. When you open it, you have 2 stackable pockets with a hidden journaling space. You have all your little journaling cards, little tags that you can pull in and out. So you have the 3 pockets. Then you have this diagonal pocket here with your tags and your tag pulls. You also have a little tuck spot here, so we can put that in there. Then in the back pocket, you have room for all these fun things, these extra tags, your tag pulls. You also even have a little note book. So really fun. And then we created that little ribbon on our paper clip. So really fun, full folio, and I know you'll love creating it. Also, the printable is free on my website, so please feel free to click that link and go and get it. So here are the 2 that I made recently, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you go over to Pink Monarch Prints, tell them Cindy A. Lewis sent you, and thank her for such great ideas. So thanks so much for watching Crafting Therapy. Have a great day. Don't forget to enter the May giveaway. Link below. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Bye.